Hey guys, welcome to almost 33 weeks. I am 32 weeks and 4 days, and it has been a while since I've updated you guys. I think I was 29 weeks the last time I gave you guys any kind of an update. I'm going to make this as short as possible because I feel like a lot has happened, so I'm going to try and jam pack it in there. But first and foremost, at almost 30 weeks, so a few days after I gave you guys my last update, I actually started having like extreme pain in my stomach, and I spent about 4 hours in labor and delivery. I mean, the pain was so bad that I couldn't even stand up straight or talk through it. And it didn't quite feel like labor pains that I had when I was pregnant with Abram or when I went into labor with him. But it was just constant pain, and it was excruciating. And so I went to labor and delivery. They monitored the babies, both looked great. They did a fibromenectin, I don't even know how to say it. It's some kind of test where they basically like test your vaginal fluid and cervical fluid and see if you are going to go into labor in the next 2 weeks. And it's not 100% accurate, but it's pretty accurate, and it was negative, which is good. Then she did check like my urine and all this different stuff. Everything looked fine. And she checked my cervix, and I was at a 0 station, 0 effaced, and not dilated at all, not even like a fingertip. So that is great news. That's just really good news. So basically I went and saw my OB the next day after they released me and found out that it must have just been where the muscles are tearing. And it was really extreme, and so it was just tearing muscles, but it was so painful that literally like I was having contractions with it because I was so tense. And when I was in labor and delivery, when I first got there, I was contracting like every 3 to 4 minutes. By the time I got a lot of fluids in me and just laid there, it ended up being anywhere from 8 to 20 minutes that I was having contractions. So they went ahead and sent me home, said try some Tylenol, which I was like, that is not going to work. Wouldn't you know it, I went home, took some Tylenol. I took half of a Unisom to help me sleep because I'd been having trouble sleeping, and it worked. I mean, the next day it kind of felt like if you had a really bad Charlie horse the night before, and when you stretch out your leg, it's really tender and sore. That's kind of what my stomach felt like if I kind of like leaned back and tried to stretch it out. So since then, it's been fine. Then at week 30 and 31, I went on a week-long trip with my church. I went to a conference, and that went really well. It was hard being on my feet because we would leave for like the church for the conference at like 7 in the morning, and we wouldn't get home until like 9 o'clock at night. So we were on our feet all day. I mean, I could sit down and different stuff like that, but still just being like out and about all day was so hard. And like the second day I noticed my feet had started to swell, and so that's the first sign of swelling I've had this whole pregnancy. But after like I got home from the trip, it hasn't happened again, and it was an 8-hour drive down there and an 8-hour drive back. So my feet did swell on that trip, but they haven't gotten swollen since. So here I am at pretty much 33 weeks, which is crazy that we've made it this far. I have had another OB appointment since then, my 32-week appointment, and blood pressure looks great, no protein in the urine, anything like that. I have officially at 33 weeks, like as of like this morning, gained 31 pounds for the pregnancy, and they didn't measure my fundal height this time, so I have no clue what that is. But I found out some great news that I didn't know before, and I don't know if I just missed it, but basically, and sorry, I'm out of breath. Like, I can't talk without getting out of breath because these babies are so big. But basically, my OB is on medical leave all of a sudden for the next 4 weeks. So she will not likely be at my birth. It's possible. She basically comes back right at my 36-week mark. So we shall see if she makes it. But, so I got to meet with another OB, and I actually really liked her as well. And I was talking to her about the birth and just kind of what my plans were and my hopes and wishes for a vaginal birth. And I mentioned like, yeah, and you know, if baby B's breech, we'll have to turn it. And she was like, oh no, she goes, I'll totally, well, there you go. Sorry about that, guys. My husband called, so I don't even know where I left off. Oh, I was talking to her about how I thought that if baby A was head down, they'd go ahead and try for a vaginal birth, but that they would have to try and flip baby B, and if they couldn't, I'd have to have a C-section for baby B. And she was like, oh no, she's like, I will totally deliver baby B breech. She's like, because once baby A comes down, and especially, you know, obviously baby A would have to be head first, but once baby A comes down and everything's already open, she goes, I just reach up there and I either pull out legs or I pull out a head. So she said there's no problem with that. The only reason I would need a C-section after at that point is if it was just like an emergency situation, like the baby wasn't doing well and they just needed to get it out, or if the baby got stuck somehow. So that's really exciting that she will deliver baby B breech. It's just so exciting. With that said though, that's where we were talking a lot about the whole epidural situation. And she was like, you know, if I have to stick my hands up there and pull this baby out, you're going to want an epidural. So I think at this point, the only way I would choose to go without an epidural, which I would still love to do, would be if both babies were head down and everything just looked so good to go. And if I got to the hospital and I'm already like, you know, 4 or 5 centimeters. I think if I was like kind of far enough along, my water broke on its own, you know, baby A's head down, baby B's head down, I think I might attempt a completely natural birth because everything's just ready to go. So we discussed that, and that just made me really happy, but that appointment went really well. My next appointment is at the 34-week mark, so that's coming up here in about, I think, 9 days or so, 8 or 9 days. And I'm going to have another appointment and another ultrasound just to check positioning and to check growth and things like that to see how big they're getting. I can't wait. I hope that both of them will show their faces really well this time because they do them in 3D. So I'm really excited about that and hoping that both of them cooperate so we can see what they're looking like. But at this point, I'm just, if I'm honest about how the pregnancy is, it has gotten really, really rough the last like week and a half or 2 weeks. Like, as you can tell, I cannot keep my breath. I just feel like I can't breathe. I don't feel good. I don't know what it is. I don't have any kind of sickness or flu, but I almost feel like I do. I think it's probably because there's just no more room left in my organs and stomach, but I always just feel kind of icky. And Jeremy, my husband, explained it. He said, you're just zapped. Like, there's just no energy, and I just feel almost like you've come down with the flu and you just want to lay in bed and you feel gross and nothing sounds good. And when you eat, you feel gross. And so I just think I'm running out of room and running out of energy and out of oxygen room and sleeping. Oh, that's funny too. Here in the last probably 4 days, my husband's been complaining because he said that I've been snoring at night, which I'm not a snorer, but he said it's when I lay on my left side that I'm just snoring, and he said it's so loud. So, and I think again, because I don't have any like room and I'm so exhausted that he's been getting up in the middle of the night and going to the couch because I'm snoring so loud. So that's a new thing as of 32 to 33 weeks. And there was something else I just thought about that was like a new thing. Oh, I've been having such trouble sleeping. Basically, I'm going to bed at about, we go to bed at like anywhere between 10 and 11. And I've just been waking up at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock. And I think I've talked about this in previous videos. And it's just getting worse to where I literally just can't even sleep. So I'm so tired. And when I'm waking up, I'm just awake, but I'm also in just so much pain, like my hips and my shoulders, and just I'm so heavy on my sides that I'm in pain. So when I went for my 32-week appointment, I talked to my OB about it, and she encouraged me to try Unisom, which I every now and then will do like a half of a Unisom. So like 12 milligrams. And she was like, oh, she's like, I doubt, she's like, you need to go more than that. So she recommended I go for the, 25 to 50 milligram dose. And she actually recommended, since it seems like my body's only wanting to sleep in like 4-hour stretches because of the pain. And she said that Unisom actually only works for about 4 hours as well. She said to maybe try and get 4 hours of sleep at my normal nighttime shift, get up, go ahead and like do homework, get on the computer, do whatever I need to do. And then maybe like in the early morning to middle of the day when Abram naps or if my husband's home, do another 4-hour stretch. so that I'm kind of breaking up my sleep, and it's giving my body a break from laying on my hips and things like that. So I've been doing that the last like 3 or 4 days, and it's really been helping. I'm getting, you know, I'm getting a good solid 4 hours just in different segments, and I'm feeling a little bit better, but you can just still tell that there's just like a zapped energy. And other things that's funny, like just even putting on my pants, like it's so hard to like have balance. I'm just so big. But yeah, that's about it for 30. That's like 30 through 33 or 29 through 33. That's my update for that. I mean, really, the babies could come anytime. I know lots of twins that came right around that 33, 34 week mark. But again, my goal is to make it to week 36. And, man, that's here in like 21, that's here in 20 some odd days. Like, that's so soon. So, maybe not even, it's like, yeah, it might not even be 20 days. Like, that's so soon. So, yeah, my goal is that 36 week mark, and if I can make it to 37, I will. I don't think I'm going to go past that. My OB said that they will take the babies if I want at 37 weeks, if I remember correctly. And she said that, she's like, if you really want to go past that and you're feeling great and the babies are doing great, we can try. And I'm like, no, like 37 is plenty. So yeah, we're getting down to the last stretch. We're on the home stretch. So I'm just so glad these babies have stayed in here. At this point, they're both probably over 4 pounds. And just so excited. So I will go ahead and show you guys a 30, let's just call it 33 weeks, a 33 week bump. Yeah. There is I have to stand on my tiptoes here. As you can see, I think this is a medium, and it flops up and you can see the bottom of my belly. So I need to like pull my pants up and keep it like tucked in so you can't see my belly. But there is the 33 week bump. Oh my goodness. That is them, guys. They're gonna be here before we know it. Alright guys, well thanks for following my journey. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them below, and I will try and keep you more regularly posted, since things are probably about to start changing rapidly with appointments, and just as we get really close to bringing these twins into the world. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.